What is going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. Looking at a chart here of the S&P 500. Looking forward to going over this with you right now, looking how the market is currently set up, looking how we're going to position ourselves, how we should be positioning ourselves, and how to react. Now, this is not a chart of the SPY. The SPY limits you to trading during market hours. I'm trading the S&P 500. You're looking at TradingView, where I do my charting and analysis. You could look in the description below. This is TradingView, and I also use my FX broker. It's FX Choice, where I'm able to trade the S&P 500 23 hours a day. I am not limited to New York market hours. All right, everyone, we're going to drop first down to the 8-hour time frame. First, what I want you to do is to see a couple of different things. All right, we're going to make this really clear, really concise. We're in a downtrend. In that downtrend, we have pulled back until heavy resistance. All right, that's number one. That's the first thing that I want you to notice. The next thing that I want you to notice is that we are currently breaking down out of this rising wedge. This is a bearish pattern. We've broken down outside that wedge, and currently we are coming back up to test that broken support to see if it holds as resistance. Markets were up nicely today, up over 2%. A lot of people feeling pretty good. The close, we see the prices come off in the close. That's the important piece where the generals are trading. There's a couple of things that I want you to notice over here. The first thing that I want you to focus on before we get into last night trade. Listen, it's my intent here to be able to teach you how to position, how to take trades for yourself, how to be able to read the structure of the market, and how to trade accordingly to it. All right, this is my intent. So I'm going to go over trades as they happen. I'm going to go over past trades, whether you took them or not, so that you are able to learn and retrain, rewire your brain so that as things unfold in real time, you'll be able to take advantage of them. All right, so here's what's happening. I'm going to come down right now first. I'm going to come down to a 1-hour time frame with you. The reason being, if you've been watching the video, you've been watching the channels, the last trade we took, we got short over here at the break of the support. That was at 28.14, right? Last night, in last night's video, with that open trade, I said, okay, everyone, I'm putting my stop loss in at 27.61, right above this resistance. All right, look over here. You can see the support in the market, right? Once that broke here, that became resistance right here. While I was sleeping, I put my stop loss in at 27.61, locking in about 53 pips. Right? Nice trade for one day, right? A little over one day. Now, I also said, if I were trading overnight during London and I will not take the trade, if I'm stopped out, I'll be sleeping, right? Here's where I was stopped out. And then I said, if you are trading during London and do get stopped out over there, and then you see price come back down and test that broken resistance, and if it holds as support as price resumes up, that's an entry to get in. Now, I don't know who took that trade. I don't know who was up during London. I don't know. I don't know. I know that I didn't take it. But here's what happened after you took that trade. Price came back up. Again, now watch over here as it retests that broken resistance right here and establishes support. The reason I want you to focus in over here is because this is what became the line in the sand. This is your support. I added in this line of support as well. This was during the live stream session. We live stream every day, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. If you go ahead and not only subscribe to the channel, but hit that bell notification, you'll be alerted when we go live and you'll be able to join us. I gave everyone this trend line, and I said to everyone, as long as price stays above this trend line, here we go. Here's where you might have entered the trade. Right? You're long over here. I said, if we break back below this area, exit your trade, or if this trend line here is breached, that's a signal to exit your trade. What's happening right now? Do you see that this trend line might be becoming breached? right? If I was in this trade, if I took the entry over here at 27.66 right now, I'm exiting that trade. That's a nice trade. That's a really easy, nice trade, right? When I say easy, I mean, hey, sometimes you have to work really hard for it. Sometimes you don't. What happens next? This is what we want to focus in on right now. Now, before we get there, I also said during the live stream, if price trades below this line over here, 27.57, I will look to reestablish my short position that we're going to come down, test the lows over here, hopefully break. But going into here, I had a little bit better than a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. I'm looking for this to break because, now bear with me here, I need to zoom out. I need for you to understand this all. What is happening right now, I need to clean my chart. I like working with the clean space. Now, what's happening here on the bigger picture, you have to understand the bigger picture to understand the smaller picture. This is a rising wedge. We broke down out of it. We're coming up, testing that broken resistance, which could take place here, right here where we're being rejected right now, or it could take place at this resistance up here, or it could take place at this resistance up here until we break above this resistance at 28.92. The bears have control here. This breakdown is valid. This line, let me highlight this for you. This line right here is resistance. This broken support is now resistance. For it to break, we got to get above this big resistance here. At that point, we're going to get really bullish on the markets right now. Ever since the breakdown, we have turned bearish. We are looking for resistance to hold. Here is resistance. We have it in at 28.12. Now people say, hey, those lines you draw are just nonsense. Nevertheless, where did price peak today? At that magic line I had there, right into the resistance, right? So what does that mean for us right now? Well, come back down to the 1 hour with me. Let's take a look. Now, price is not closed yet below this trend line. It's a little too early for me to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start selling here. It's a little too early. All right. Now, if I draw a little bit of local support over here, I could say I'm getting close, right? Now, if I were in this long trade, the entry I gave you all, and then I told you how to manage that, where you're wrong, where to exit, watch this trend line. If you break, you exit that position. You should be exiting that long now. You're into resistance. You came into the resistance up here. And not only that, you're now breaching that trend line. Hey, take your, what is that? That's like, I don't know, about 30 points in the S&P. Not bad for a day's work. Go ahead and take that profit. All right, let's wait for the market to reset itself. I see us getting rejected now into this resistance, right? So this is the first opportunity to look for a short. When are we going to look for a short, right? Well, I'm going to give this a little bit of time to figure out. I'm not going to enter a short here right now at market at all. You know what? I do know I'm looking to play this safe right now because it's unclear. I'm looking on a breach of here of 25.57, 25.56. At that point, if we trade below there, I like that trade. I'm going to be looking, see what happens into this support down here to see whether or not I need to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even, give this a little room, because if we do break down, this trade becomes something that I want to participate in. It's a little too early for me to be getting short here right now. I do like the fact that we are being rejected right now by this resistance initially. It's too soon to call it where I'd want to jump in. I will move down to the 8 hour. If I move down to the 8 hour time frame, right now I broke down the S&P 500 into 3 sessions. What are those 3 sessions? All of New York, 8 hours, right? Asia, 8 hours. London, 8 hours. If I start making lower lows over here, is that an opportunity to get in? That's the earliest opportunity that I see right now. What happens on the 4 hour time frame? Yeah. I like it on the 8 hour. If we start making lower lows on the 8 hour, I would consider it. But me personally, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to see if we get below this new area of support. Because watch with me right now. This area, this was the resistance. It broke during today's session. It was retested right here. And that's now support. So as we're coming possibly under this trend line, this is a place to take profits right now. If we do wind up trading lower, I want to see if this holds as support and we start trading back up. If you do hold the support and start making new highs, that's a place to get long down off this support. If we break that support, I'm looking to get short over here. I'm looking here at a retest of these lows to go ahead and lock in profits, move my stop. What about on the upside? I'm not playing the upside right now. If we get above this today, if we get above this resistance today, and we do see a retest, if we check that broken resistance and see it hold as support and price start resuming up, okay, then I could see you getting long over here, and you probably have to first here at 28.37, look at the resistance. Here's you got resistance. This was support. You could see the resistance over here. At that level, what I would do would be lock in profits, move my stop to break even, and give it some room to see if it's rejected where I take profits, or if we come back up and we test higher, right? Watch what happens at this level, all right? Right now, and I have to give you the bigger picture. Right now, let me come back to my preferred time frame on the 8 hour. Right now, we are breaking down outside of this rising wedge. Right now, I am bearish as we've broken out. We're coming up after the breakout, after the breakdown or the breakout. Normally you come back down and you retest to make sure that that broken support, in this case, tests as resistance. If we're rejected here, this is quite bearish and looks like we're going to resume down and test lower. Now, what makes me bullish? When do I get bullish? I'm going to drop down to show you. I talked about between here and here. If we regain this resistance at 28.12, I talked about between 28.12 and 28.52, there's room to play to the upside, maybe even higher. But for me to say that this was a false breakdown, this could be a false break. The markets could be, this is a breakdown outside this wedge, but it could be a false break. It could be a false breakout. And if we climb back up and take out this resistance here, which also coincides with this trend line that I have over here, that yellow trend line, at that point, I become overall bullish on the market. I have a bullish bias. I like during a bullish bias to buy off support. I like with a bearish bias to sell off resistance. In this case, I have a bearish bias to the market because we've broken down outside of this trend line over here, outside of this rising wedge, off of strong resistance. All right. This is how we view the structure of the market. You could see what happened here when we entered the trade at 28.14. Price broke down. What happens when price breaks down? Most of the time it comes back up. It tests that broken support, held as resistance. This is where the safe entry is onto the trade. Now it's about managing a trade. The most important part of trading is not taking the entry. It's managing the trade, right? As we did our last published video yesterday at the close of the market, I said this is our near resistance. If we get above this, I'm locking in my profits and I'm taking profit. After that, all that took place, I got stopped out. 53 points, not a bad day's work. Now what happened over here? I said to you, if you are an active trader, how do you actively trade the S&P 500 when the market's closed? Go ahead in the description. You see that I use TradingView charting with my FX Choice as my broker, right? There's a link there. Then you could trade 23 hours a day. I said if anyone is up and trading this and you break, if I get stopped out and break above this resistance, look for it to be tested as support. And if it starts holding the support and resuming upwards, that's your entry, right? Then during the live stream this morning, I pointed out, all right, this is where you're wrong on the trade. And you get out, and if that happens during the New York session, I will go short here. That still remains where I'm looking to go short. Back behind. Right now, I'm out of the market, right? I don't need to be in the market all the time. You don't need to be in the market all the time. What you need to do is be able to see how things are unfolding and then be waiting to be able to take advantage of it. I also then included this trend line, and I said, okay, if you're in this trade, continue riding that up until this trend line is broken. If that trend line breaks, go ahead and take profit. Down over here, short. The fact that we came into this resistance, you could see this is resistance. You see over here it was support. broken support turned resistance. Resistance here, we're rejected over here. All right, that's a sign that this could hold. If we see this resuming now to the downside, it's time to reestablish shorts. All right, everyone. I want you all to be able to do this for yourself. The more time you spend here working with me, the clearer and clearer it's going to become until you're able to see and act yourself. That's the goal. That's the goal here of working together. Now, again, we have to get above here, above this resistance up here, and above this trend line for me to become bullish on the market. And I will become very bullish on the market if that happens. I don't care which way the market goes. I have my opinions about what's going to happen. And I'm always processing all data, all information, trying to figure out what my base case is, what my thesis is on the market. But I don't care what happens. We're only going to trade what happens, right? Price is everything at the end of the day. Trying to go ahead and impart some insight that I've gained over the years, 20 years trading, and share that with you. Help you become stronger. The more that we build each other up, the more that we increase our skills, our overall knowledge, the better we all become. That's why we're here. I definitely enjoy sharing this time with you, and I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, everyone, that's a good look at the market. I hope you have a great night, great day, and I'll see you later.